Hi guys, Emily Capel with MakingMathMakeSense.org. Welcome back. Here is another game. It's one of my favorites. It's a go-to for me whether I'm working with my own kiddos at home or I'm working with a lot of different grade levels. This first set of videos, I'm going to show you how to play this game with our preschoolers, our kindergartners, and our first graders. We're really going to be hitting our number sense. What's the game? It's called Face Off. It's nothing new. We used to play it when we were kids, us adults. It's called War. But we don't like to call it war in school anymore, so we call it Face Off. I'm going to show you a lot of different variations to the game that you can play, some tools that you can use with your students or your children at home that can help develop that deeper understanding. Let's get started. All right, so what you see underneath my document camera here is a ruler. We're going to use that to help us with our comparing of numbers. You can see I have some dice here and I have an index card which I've drawn on. You can get a nicer form of this in the download below the video here. I like to play this game with dice with children. It's a little bit more interactive than playing with cards. They can organize their thoughts and their work a little bit better than with cards, but I'm going to show you the card version too in a few minutes. So first, I would have kids roll these dice. These dice come from our friends at Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks. I like these because they're bigger, they're chunkier than a regular size dice. And the numbers on the subitizing dice match the number, the colors match on the number form. So whether you're at 4 or 5, the numbers are matching. So it helps the kids understand if they are equal or not. So you're gonna have each student or each child roll the die. This one happens to be 11. And we have 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the kids put their dice on the number line. You might not have this awesome foldable ruler here that I have from Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks, but you can use any ruler at home or you can make your own number line on a piece of paper. So here we have 11 and 11. So on the back of this index card I have here, I have equal sign. So on the equal sign, you might notice that there's some dots on my equal sign. That allows the kiddos to develop the understanding that equal means it's the same number on this side that's on this side. That's really important as they move throughout their mathematical education, especially up into our middle school grades where they start balancing equations. But we're not there yet. This allows the kids to understand what an equal sign truly means. So each student would say 11 is equal to 11. This student would say 11 is equal to 11. Let's roll again. So here now we have 3 and 10. This child's going to put it on the 3. So can they find the same number on a number line? And now it's pretty clear that 3 is less than 10. So we're going to use that number card that we have here, and we're going to use this inequality symbol. Notice my inequality symbol has dots on it. Nothing about this is an alligator. There's no alligators in math class. Alligators don't eat bigger numbers, okay? I want students to develop an understanding that this side of the inequality symbol has 1. This side of the inequality symbol has 2. So this is where the smaller number goes. This is where the bigger number goes. So we're going to place our dice on our inequality card, and we're going to say 3 is less than 10. The student who rolled the 10 is going to say 10 is greater than 3. Both students need to say the sentence. Now, who wins? Well, depends on what rule the child makes. Maybe this round the child says the larger number wins, or they say the smaller number wins. When we were kids, it was always the larger number. How come the big guy always has to win? So before the game starts, I always have the kids tell me who wins, bigger or smaller. Let's say you have 3 kids playing because you have an odd number at home. You have 3 kids like I do, or you have an odd number of students in your classroom. You just order the numbers then. So then you're working on the smallest number, the middle number, and the largest number. Maybe then the middle number wins every time. Let the kiddos have some say in this game. Let them have some control, but it's the control that you're giving them. So this is how you can play with dice. Maybe you don't have my fun 12-sided dice here from Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks. Use regular dice. Maybe you only have 10-sided dice. Use 10-sided dice. Maybe you have double dice and you have 1 child at home. This double die is a die within a die. You see that baby dice inside? These are a student favorite. You can order it on Amazon. Okay, so maybe they roll the dice and they compare the number on the inside, which it looks like I rolled a 6 and a 5. So 6 is greater than 5. Okay, but dice are such a fun way for kids to play the game of war. Maybe you don't have dice at home. Maybe all you have is playing cards and you want to play like we did when we were children. Awesome. Here's a deck of playing cards. I like the ones for Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks. They're my favorite, so those are the ones I have here at home. Just like when we were kids, you split the pile into two. Each player lays one card over. Oh, what do we have this time? We have 11 is equal to 11. Now, here again is where you can give kids control. When I was a child, each player laid face down 2 and flipped the third. And now we have 12 is greater than 7. So if we're playing larger number wins, 12 gets to keep all of the cards in play. My students at school, they're 4th graders, but they love to just flip one more over. They love to just go boom and just flip the next one. Okay, so again, the way I put them back, 12 is greater than 7 and they get to keep all of those. Okay, so super simple, super basic, just like when we were kids. Another resource I have for you are some number cards that I made up for my own children a few years back. My oldest is in 5th grade. When he was in preschool, he was really struggling to recognize the number symbols. So I started making these cards for him. On these sets of cards, I have 0 through 20. I have them in word form, I have them in standard form, subitizing form. All of the numbers greater than 10, I also have in expanded form, and I have in 10 frame form. If it's less than 10, there's only one 10 frame. If it's greater than 10, I have a double 10 frame card. I have this complete set of cards available for download right here underneath the video. So we can play the same way. I've done this with all 3 of my children through preschool, and it really, really helps. So again, you're gonna divide the stack into 2. Maybe your child is not working on through 20. Maybe you only print the numbers through 10, but printing them in word form, 10 frame form, subitizing form, number form. Print out the numbers that your children are working on. Same thing as with the deck of cards, you flip them over and compare. So 10 and 3 more is 13 is greater than 1. I also want to say with my cards that you can download for the comparison cards, I have not only in the inequality symbol form, but I also have it in word form. So maybe your child's not at the stage of learning that they're ready for the symbol, that they need words that says is greater than or is less than, and the kids can make the sentence make sense. So this round, we're playing smaller number wins. So 1 is less than 13, the student with the 1 wins. Flip 2 more cards over. We have a 6 and a 13. So 6 is less than 13. 6 wins that round. So these cards are really good for seeing numbers in a variety of ways. We want students to go deeper with their number sense thinking, not always wider. So these cards allow us to see the numbers in a variety of ways. And the last resource I'm going to show you for our primary kiddos here are Deco Dots. Deco Dots are from our friend Shannon at SIS for Teachers. So she created our character here, Dotson, and he has these Deco Dots. Now, in Shannon's Deco Dots, she's got 3 sets. So this is the primary set. This is the set that only goes through 5. So she has 5 frames on here. And you're comparing just numbers within 5. So that's the red set. I love that she has multiple levels of Deco Dots. Then you can move on to the yellow set. This is the middle set. In the middle set, it's no longer 5 frames, but it's 10 frames. And just comparing numbers with 10 frames. Okay? After your child moves their way from the red to the yellow, they can now get the green set out. In the green set, there are also subitizing cards. So she's got 2 colors on some of the subitizing cards. Sometimes she's got 10 frame and a dot on the outside. Sometimes it's looking all fun like this one. And it's just getting kids to see numbers in a variety of ways. So you can play Face Off with these cards as well. Face Off is an awesome game working on number sense, okay? Digging deep, comparing numbers. Which one's greater than, which one's less than? Let's say you want to step it up a notch. You can ask your kid, well, how much greater than is 11 than 6? How much less than is 3 than 5? And have them using that ruler or that number line to count how many are between the 2, okay? I cannot wait to show you the intermediate ways to play Face Off. My students love it because it's something quick that they can do when they have a little bit of extra time before we move on to another activity. I hope you enjoyed the primary thing for Face Off, and Have a great day.